Hi everyone. Our team included Joyce Chang, Adam Kerr, myself, Michael Levenbaum, and Tracy Monk. So just as a quick recap of some of the things we learned this week, or yesterday, for that matter. The library consists of the collections, the circulations, the programs, and the services, and these are just a few of the many different examples of each type. So what is the situation with data collection with regards to circulations and collections? I think you're all very familiar with this because this is what you've been working with mostly yesterday. They have really great data tracked by library card. They have registration forms that are connected to the library card. So theoretically, we can track items being checked out by the user's data, for example, and determine which types of users by age, sex, postal code are using different types of collection materials. The data situation with programs and services we found from the staff are quite different. The primary statistics being collected is manual head counts, and typically characteristics about individuals who attend is just approximated, usually by such as child, teen, or adult. The implications that data cannot be analyzed in the same way as collections, and we cannot determine actually who's attending which programs and services. So our ideas, the first of which is to collect data for programs and services that's more like the data for the collections, i.e. one registration per use. Our second idea is to collect a broader scope of data. So the first proposal, we envision this through scanning of library cards for event program attendance. When we spoke to staff, one of the potential constraints is that mandatory registrations are not feasible. People forget their library cards, do not have one, and this may discourage some individuals. And it has to, whatever solution has to be optimized to minimize staff time and cost. Some of the solutions we are thinking of is to make event registration as easy as possible, to have, for example, automatic check-in stations at events, registering online with just using your library card, and using mobile app applications. And also to encourage attendance and registration through other means. For example, using social media, for, like some other individuals suggested, have discussed today, could be used. Or also including rewarding registration attendance, such as badges, certifications, gamifications. And then the second one is, now that we have all this program and service data, let's expand information on what we know about people so we can figure out which individuals are using which types of services and programs. So we could collect more information on the registration form about education level, household information. We could collect additional information about community engagement, satisfaction with the library. And then we can do this on a repeated basis, particularly when they do library card renewal, which is once a year, and potentially after events via email. So who does this affect? We think this affects everybody. It affects library decision makers and library staff who can start, which will inform their decisions around programs and services, and this will directly impact library users in the future. So the area of impact, we think this aligns with the library's mission of improving access, awareness, expanding capacity, and also it aligns with the Toronto's poverty reduction strategies and other strategies that the library is involved with. So the applications of this are numerous. You can measure status and progress among specific groups of people. Imagine tracking reading levels by age for certain groups of people. And then this data could be used to inform new programs and service development and optimize existing programs if they're not reaching the intended population. The overall goal is to go towards evaluation beyond counts. For example, we could start looking at repeat users of programs through certification, skill progression. You can start looking at usage across services, programs, and collections. You can track, for example, different types of users, like, for example, income equality of certain types of collection usage, program usage, or service users. And that can start informing some of these strategies as well. And then you can use this as a framework and platform to collect feedback and further evaluate programs and services. Lastly, this will result in better data for future hackathons because we'll start having some of the similar data that we have today yesterday for circulations, but for programs and services. And this fits, we think, within the existing library card system infrastructure. Thank you for your attendance and paying attention, and thank you very much for the staff for all the questions and answers. It was great. We all had a great time.